Welcome to Kyria's Review, and I'm Kyria, and I'm here to review the third episode of American Horror Story. I know this review is coming late, but I'm a hairstylist, and last week, really every day up until last last night was like the last week before back to school. So I have been working like 12-hour days. And I am like barely holding on as far as like trying to get enough sleep and stuff like that. So this is literally the first chance I've had, besides making the Love After Lockup review, this is the first chance that I've had to actually go back, make my notes so that I can do this review for American Horror Story. So thank y'all for joining me today. And I'm going to review episode 3 of American Horror Story season 10. This episode was really good. It was so much that happened in this episode. And it was like some weird moments in here that were just really like uncomfortable. I think y'all know what I'm talking about. So we are just going to get into it. Like, I have so many notes. So excuse me if I'm just kind of looking down, around, and everywhere else, because I'm just trying to make sure I get everything and don't leave anything out. So we start off this episode with Doris in the shower, Alma in the shower, and Doris is scrubbing like crazy, and she is still like rambling on about the rabies and the Lyme disease. And she was like, they can cause psychological issues, and Harry's coming in and he is like, what is going on? And Doris is like, I caught her eating a rabbit. A dead rabbit. To me, I was thinking, how's she gonna be eating a live rabbit? But I mean, I don't know if it's a live rabbit or dead rabbit. I don't know. Also, before I even get past this part, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel. I got 1 new subscriber, so I am 6 subscribers away from having 25 subscribers. So thank you, whoever my new subby is out there. I really appreciate the sub, and I will keep these videos coming. So she cleans up Alma, and during all of this commotion that's going on inside the house, the sheriff is sitting outside the house, and she comes up to the house and, to ask Harry, why is she getting calls about Doris rushing Alma down the street with blood all over her face? She found a dead rabbit at the cemetery. Excuse me. The tiredness is still like, I haven't gotten it all out of my system. But it's so weird because it's like she's been brushing him off this whole season every time they report something. But then when she hears something about something going on at their house, now she's concerned. That was just kind of weird for me. But what also was weird was she was telling them, like, look, I want to take Alma down to the police station, and I want to question her without y'all being there. Now, she know daggone well she cannot question a minor without her parents being there. Not legally, at least. I don't know. They got some weird stuff going on in that town. So I guess she said, all this weird stuff going on, why follow the rules? So during all this commotion, Doris is standing at the top of the stairs at this point because Harry's kind of downstairs in the foyer area talking to the sheriff, and almost at the top of the stairs, and they're all just kind of just standing there. Harry's going back and forth with her, and Doris is standing at the top of the stairs listening. Now, in the course of all this, Doris, from stress, starts to have contractions, and it causes her to fall down the stairs, which makes like everything stop. So they end up taking Doris to the hospital, and while she's at the hospital, we learn, okay, the baby ends up being okay, even though she fell down the stairs, because she kind of fell down a couple stairs, but it was enough for me to be like, goodness gracious, and those were wood stairs. So while she's in the hospital, we find out that Doris has had miscarriages prior to her being pregnant with the baby that she has now. Also, she's trying to convince Harry to stay at the hospital with her because she ends up having to stay at the hospital for like 4 or 5 days. So Harry ends up sending Alma out of the room, I guess, so they can talk. And he's like, look, go and get something from the snack machine, trying to distract her. And outside of the room is sitting this like big hospital, like this all this blood in these like little baggies, and it's like on a hospital cart inside of like a container. And when Harry sends Alma out to the snack machine, she stops in front of the blood and she's just staring at it. And while she's staring at the blood, he's staring at her. So he's like, Alma, go and get something from the snack machine. And all the while, I'm sitting there thinking, like, what hospital just has blood laying around? Is that not... First of all, it don't seem like it would be sanitary to just have bags of blood just laying out in the open in the hallway. It seems like they would cover that up or try to transport that some other way instead of just having a cart of just all these little bags of blood just sitting in the hallway, which was kind of weird. So Harry tells Doris, to go ahead, stay in the hospital. She is not in Provincetown. While she's in the hospital, they have driven outside the town to take her to a hospital. And he lets her know, like, look, just stay here. I'm going to take Alma back to New York and, we just going to go from there. So they leave and him and Alma are in the car. And Alma points out, like, we're not going in the direction of New York. We look like we're going back to Provincetown. And Harry's just like, when did you take the pill? And she was like, well, I took it the other day when I was trying to get Paganini right and I couldn't get it right. So I just took a pill and now, I can play it perfectly. And Harry goes to tell her, like, you did not need the pill. You were already great at what you were doing. You just needed to keep practicing. You did not need to basically take on something as far as taking that pill that I did not want you to take. And he tells her that, I want you to stop taking it. And almost just like, if I have to stop taking it, you have to stop taking it. And Harry was, he just got quiet. I guess he was in his mindset, girl, I ain't about to stop taking that pill. So they get back to the house and Harry's sitting on the sofa with his laptop and he's trying to write once again. And he cannot think of anything because he is again experiencing writer's block. So he ends up going in the kitchen, digging around in the trash can because I guess he got mad and threw the pills away. Dug around in the trash can, found the bag of pills, and he takes one. But when he turns around, Alma is standing behind him with her hand out like this because she wants one too. Because she told him if he's taking them, she's going to take them. So they end up going to a restaurant and he explains that he only is going to be taking the pill for 3 months out of the year. He can write, he can stockpile writings, paychecks, and things like that to help them survive throughout the rest of the year and then come back and take the pills, these 3 certain months out of the year so that he can, basically continue the cycle. Oh, gosh. I'm so sorry. So, and he's also explaining to Alma, like, if you take the pill, you're not going to be able to take the pill for only 3 months. You are going to have to take the pill year round because you're going to have to perform and the type of work that you're doing with the musical instrument is something that's going to have to be continuous throughout the year, and you can't do it for 3 months and then stop because then you're going to continuously be playing your instrument in front of other people doing performances and whatnot. And, almost just like, I don't care. Whatever I have to do. I just want to be the greatest. And he tells her, okay, well, if you're going to do that, then our rule needs to be that you cannot go out and get your own blood. You have to let me go out and get the blood for you. And she's like, well, what about when I turn 18? And he's like, no, even then, you need to let me do it. So if anything happens, it falls back on me, not on you. So let me see. Basically at the end of the scene, she's just like, Dad, I'm hungry for blood. So Harry decides to go out so that he can get blood for them. and he answers a Craigslist ad, I'm assuming, and he hits this lady up for a bike and a Blu-ray player that she was advertising. Now, I don't know what year this season is supposed to be taking place in, but who is going out their way to steal and try to resell Blu-ray players? Anyway, when he gets to the door, the lady asks him, she's like, can I see some ID because I'm here, I'm alone. Now, when he first got there, the way she was acting, at first I didn't until he got in the house, but I had a feeling that somebody else was in the house, which it was, because when she gets in there and she, her and Harry start talking, he just starts apologizing, I guess because he feels bad that he's about to kill her. But then he gets hit in the back of the head or hit in the back or something, and then he gets knocked out. And then he wakes up in a basement, in a cage in a basement with a little lantern, 2 buckets in there that say potty on them, and this list of rules that's on the wall, like no complaining, and you must listen to your master, and all this other stuff. And I'm like, okay, he done got kidnapped, and he is just in a weird, they on some weird stuff. So the lady comes in the basement because Harry ends up breaking the glass that was to the door or the mirror or something like that. And the guy was like, hey, what are you doing? The guy that hit him in the head to try to kidnap him. And he was like, I don't go to your house breaking stuff. And I'm thinking in my head, okay, but you kidnapped him. Breaking stuff is the least of your worries. So the girl shows up at the door and she's telling Harry, like, look, I need you to take this Viagra, because during the course of when she was, anybody who watched this episode, what she explained to him, like, go ahead and take this Viagra because he's about to do this, because we make these types of movies and the people that watch these movies want to see him make you do this, and he's going to be doing this, and you're going to be doing this to me, while he's like, everything she was explaining was crazy. Okay, I heard terms that I don't need to know. I don't want to know what rosebud means. I don't want to know what a daisy chain is. I don't care about that. But I mean, for the sake of the episode, those were the terms she was using. Anybody who watched this episode y'all know what she was talking about, and it was very disturbing. Okay. Goodness gracious. That whole scene was just weird. Like, I was like, what kind of fetish stuff they got going on to the point where this is a segment that you put in the show? Like, what kind of life you living where you know stuff, where you know about stuff like this? That mess is crazy. Like, I cannot explain enough. Anybody who watched that scene and all that stuff she was explaining about what he was gonna do to Harry and stuff like that, I was just like, sick. That is just sick. So they bring Harry out of the room, the little cage that they have him in, and they lay him over this board, like this board that has like duct tape on it, and it's just like a board that he's supposed to lean over so that the guy can, do whatever he about to do to make the snuff film. So while they're in the background arguing, because I guess for some reason the guy forgot to charge the camera that they were supposed to be using to film everything. Oh shoot, I dropped my notes. He dropped. They didn't charge up the camera, so while they were arguing, Harry takes off his fake teeth and he chews through the rope. And then he attacks the girl and somehow gets the gun from the guy and shoots him in the stomach. So then the guy was like, man, what is going on? Like, what are you doing? And he was like, please, like, she made me do it. And Harry was like, nah, don't run. I'm about to kill her. And then I'm going to watch you bleed. I'm going to watch you just bleed out slowly while I collect your blood so I can take it back to my daughter and she can drink it like a can of Campbell's tomato soup. Okay? What kind of mess? This episode was crazy. So he brings the blood back to Alma, and she's just eating it like soup. He's just sitting there watching her like, wow, my daughter really has turned into a bloodsucker. So anyway, Ursula shows up, and this is really when stuff started kind of going crazy. So Ursula shows up, and unexpectedly, mind you, and she mentions to him that Quentin Tarantino wants him to write a script for him because Quentin Tarantino read one of his scripts, and he was like, you know, I don't know who this Harry guy is, but he's a better writer than me. I just got married, so I'm not able to do what I need to do in order to write. And she was like, and basically Quentin told me that you will understand. So I guess in that particular scene, they were kind of alluding to the fact that Quentin Tarantino takes the pills also in the, you know, in the scope of the show, the world of American Horror Story. She kind of alluded to the fact that he takes the pills, but he cannot take them right now because he is, you know, kind of having a wedding or honeymoon or whatever stage they're in. He can't take the pills right now you know, which leads to him not being able to write. So he wants Harry to write for him for his first series for Hulu. So I guess. Okay, so she goes to eat at the Muse, which is the restaurant where Harry met Belle and Austin. When she gets in there, Belle and Austin are singing a duet like they were in the first episode. But she is at the bar complaining, and she was like, when are they going to stop? If I wanted to hear them sing the whole night, I would have just went to HE double hockey sticks, because I'm sure that whatever song that they singing, that's the song that they playing there. I don't want to hear it. And they hear her complaining, Austin and Belle, so they stop singing. I mean, it's just like cut, record scratch. And they come over, and they're just like, oh, are you new around here? You know, making small talk and stuff, and she being rude to them. Because she said she was from LA, so I can't even be like, they trying to make her sound like she from New York, and she just being rude to everybody. Or maybe that's just her abrasive personality for the role that's in the show. I don't know. But I just had to think out loud to myself for a second, because I was like, I don't know. They did write her to be really kind of aggressive and abrasive and like really, really honest with people, whether she hurts their feelings or not, which I don't really have an issue with that. But I don't know. I mean, and I kind of felt her. Like, I know some people was like, oh my gosh, I loved seeing them singing karaoke. But I'm just one of those weird, I ain't even gonna say I'm weird, because it's a lot of people out there that don't like musicals. I don't like musicals. So when I'm watching a show and there starts being like, to me, like an excessive amount of singing, I start kind of tuning out because I just do not like musicals. But of course, this is not a musical. They're just singing karaoke in the bar. So they leave, you know, her and Belle and Austin leave, and Belle was like, oh, you know, it'll be really, really great to know you look sweet, you know, in her little condescending way. So Mickey comes up to her, she blows him off, and then she goes to take a walk down the beach, and Mickey catches up to her, and he's like, look, I know who you are. I know the bellhop at the hotel. He told me that you're, I don't think he said a manager. I don't think he said a producer. Something pertaining to, he knows that she's in the business where she can get someone to, she can read his script for him and let him know if it was good or not. So he's like, please, you know, can you just read my script? Just tell me if I'm good, or, you know, I heard that you can tell if somebody's really good if you read the first 10 pages. So she was like, I mean, I guess I'll use it, or I might use it for kindling for my fire. I don't know. So she ends up taking it and she ends up reading it, and she reads the script, and then she meets back up with Mickey the next day, and she asked him, like, what is going on? She was like, it ain't no way that you was a drug addict last week, and now all of a sudden you writing a $3 million script that don't need to be rewritten and that can just go straight into production. She was like, what is going on? She said, one of my writers, Harry, basically came out here, and now he's doing the same thing. He was like a mediocre writer, really not doing much, and now all of a sudden he done moved out here, and now he's freaking Mark Twain of the daggone screenwrite scene. Mark Twain ain't write movies though, so I don't know. But she just saying, like, now he's just like this huge this huge deal. Like, what is going on? She's suspicious. She wants to get to the bottom of it. And Mickey ends up telling her, like, well, you know, there's a pill that you can take out here. And if you're really talented, it will bring that out of you. But if you're not, then it kind of just ruins your life. So she ends up asking him for the pills, and but then he tries to chime in and say, you know what? I can get you the pills, but they really mess you up. And he didn't go into detail and tell her how they messed somebody up or changed them, but she was just like, I don't care, I want the pills. So Mickey ends up breaking into Belle's house, and he ends up stealing the pills from her. Okay, so Harry, Belle, and Austin, they go to feed, they go to these people's house, and they're all, you know, they come in, they feed on the people that's in there, and then, what's his name? Harry goes under the cabinet in the kitchen and then kind of drains some blood into a cup, and then they leave. So while they're driving, Austin and Belle, they pull off to the side, and Belle, they both turn around, and Belle has her little gun on him, and she's like, and Evan was like, who's the blood for? He's like, it's for my daughter Alma, she's 9. And he tells them that she took the pill, she snuck it, but he did not tell her to. And they was like, look, you don't give her no more pills. They didn't tell him why, but Belle made a statement, and she said, you know, I have bestsellers to write. I have a career I need to keep going. You are not about to leave the future of my future in your daughter's hands. Now, I don't know what she meant by that. So I'm hoping that they'll clarify that statement further into, you know, whatever this first part of American Horror Story season 10. So they drop her off. They drop Belle and Austin drop off Harry, and he goes in the house. But while you know, after he gets out of the car and goes in the house, she's just like, we're gonna have to kill him. We're gonna have to kill him, and we're gonna have to kill his daughter, because it's just getting out of hand. So Mickey meets some guy at the beach that he knows. I don't know if it's a fellow prostitute, fellow drug addict, I don't know. But he ends up like getting into this, seemed like a 10-minute fight with this guy, and ends up killing him on the beach. But I'm talking about, he is out in the open in broad daylight, and he's not trying to hide it. He's eating somebody from Provincetown, and he's just like real reckless and messy with it. So Belle goes to when Mickey goes home, Belle is sitting there, and she lets him know, like, look, I don't know what's going on, but it's you know, people coming up dead. These pills is just getting passed around like they Skittles and now laters. Like, what is going on? And she was like, you know, she was just being real rude to him, because, you know, you can tell that she looks down on him because he was homeless and a prostitute, a drug addict, and all that other stuff. But I mean, shoot, she's talking to him all crazy, but wasn't she in the bed with him in the second episode? Because she said his poverty offended her. When she asked him, she said, you know what? Because he said, yeah, I took the pill, and I stole the pills from you. But he was like, but I got talent, because I didn't turn into one of those pale-faced people that you see running around the street. And she was like, look, now, whenever you kill somebody, you got to bring me a thermos or 2 of their blood. And he was like, well, you're going to have to buy me the thermos. That's when she told him, like, your poverty offends me, okay? And then she will, before she walked out, she was like, and by the way, you need to kill Ursula. Yes, she was like, you need to kill Ursula. So the sheriff ends up finding the guy on the beach that Mickey killed. And then she talks to me. He was like a really like small comedic relief in this episode, because she questions this guy on the street, and he was like, I saw everything. And she was like, well, what were you doing down there? And he was like, I was out there feeling the colors. And she was like, well, how do you feel colors? He was like, well, how do you feel love? How do you feel this? How do you feel that? How do you feel this? How do you feel that? She was like, if you don't know, then me answering you is not going to make you understand. And, you know, after him saying all that stuff, his name was Holden Vaughn. He said all that stuff, and he's just sitting there the whole time. I wish I had a cup, because the way he was just holding that that coffee while he was talking. And then she was like, would you like to come down to the police station to make a statement? And he was like, no, I just made one. I don't know why I thought that was so funny. I said, Holden is funny. You can tell he a character. Now, Mickey goes to kill Ursula, and he got a knife in his hand. I'm like, I guess maybe he was gonna stab her in the throat so her blood can just be squirting out everywhere so he can just drink it. I don't know. But when he gets in there, she was like, well, I'm assuming you here to kill me, but if you kill me, then you're not going to be able to do the rewrite for Speed Racer. Where Mickey was like, oh my gosh, you turned in one of my scripts. She was like, yeah, they loved it. They want you to do the rewrite for Speed Racer. And he was explaining to her like, oh my gosh, I love Speed Racer. Why can I not say Speed Racer? So he is like overly excited. He done put the knife down. He done sat next to her in the tub. He's talking to her or whatever, because he's like, dang, I love Speed Racer. I used to do this. I used to do that. My dog name was Chim Chim and all this other stuff. I was like, okay, we get it. You like Speed Racer. If I look sleepy, it's because I am. But I'm determined to get this review done tonight, because it's, Tuesday? The new episode come out tomorrow, and I'm gonna have to turn around and do another one. So no, I'm doing this now. I'm not trying to be doing this on no Wednesday or no Tuesday night, or Tuesday night going into Wednesday morning. But anyway, so Ursula asked Mickey, who is making these pills? And he was like, I do not know. He was like, I know what house it is, but I don't know. Come to find out, Miss Angelica Ross was making the pills. Now, she don't have a name for this. She don't have a named character in this season. She's just going, she's going to be known as the chemist. So, Angelica meets with Belle and Austin, and she tells them like, look, I don't know who this lady is, but she nosy. I don't want to work with her. I don't trust her. She doing too much. She showed up at my doorstep. She was being real disrespectful. She's talking about pills. I ain't told her nothing about no pills. It's my recipe. And she was just going on. So she was like, look, at the bottom, at the end of the day, if y'all don't kill her, y'all ain't getting no more pills. And Austin was like, no. He was like, no, I need those pills. So they're like, who do you want us to kill? And she was like, shoot, for real, kill Ursula, Harry, the daughter, and the mama. Pregnant and all. Just kill all of them. So she leaves that up to Belle and Austin to take care of that. The last scene that we get in this episode is when Ursula goes to babysit Alma because Harry is going somewhere. Now, Ursula's like, shoot, go ahead. I know how to babysit. I got little cousins. I got little sisters. I got a puppy. So Harry leaves Alma with Ursula. And as soon as Harry gets out the door, Ursula's like, so Alma, remember that game I was talking about? Yeah, I'm really tired. So I'm going to go take a nap. And then when I wake up, we can play the game. And Alma was like, all right. So we see the sheriff sitting outside of their house. And I guess she sees Harry leave. So she creeps back up there to the door. And she's like, Alma, can I come in? Can I talk to you? Because she's still trying to get information from her. And I'm like, girl, why is you trying to get this 9-year-old child to talk to you, knowing that her parents not there? Like, they're not going to be that understanding as to why you're in there questioning their 9-year-old daughter without them being there. Because I know I would be like, what are you doing in here? And first of all, I would have been like, why is you opening my front door? You're not allowed to open the front door. Police outside, they coming all in the house. What if they would have started searching the house? Like, Anyway, so the sheriff comes in. She's talking to Alma. And Alma stabbed that sheriff in the throat, drunk her blood, and left her on the table. When Harry gets back to the house, he sees the sheriff on the table still leaking from wherever Alma done stabs her from, or wherever the blood is draining out from. She's still sitting on the table leaking, and Ursula and Alma are at the top at the table playing gin rummy. Soon as Harry walked in the house, Ursula said, what did she say? Oh, hey, Harry. Won't you grab a drink? We need to talk. And Alma's in the back right before the scene go off. Mind you, the dead body just sitting on the table. And after she told Harry, like, yeah, get a drink because we need to talk, Alma was like, Rummy. I said, it's so funny. Maybe because it's a child and kids always be like oblivious to stuff going on around them. But just for the simple fact that she was like, okay, I done killed this lady. Now I'm just about to go sit at the table and play cards. And I'm actually excited that I'm winning. So that is how the episode ends. It was a good episode. I give it a thumbs up. I don't think it was a filler episode. I think they kind of moved us along at a good pace in this episode. So again, if anybody has made it to the end of this video, go ahead and like, share my video, subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to reach my, oh goodness, is this my first or second goal? Because I think my first goal was 10 and now this time it's 25. But I might not have vocalized the fact that I was trying to get to 10 and then to 25. But yes, please subscribe. I'm up to 19 subscribers. I need 6 more to hit my first goal of 25 subscribers. So y'all show me some support. Show Kyria some support, okay? I'm trying to get these subscribers. But regardless of the fact, even if it happens slow, I'm still going to be making these videos every week because I really enjoy these shows. And as soon as I get time and get rested enough, I am going to go ahead and start doing my movie reviews because I have not done a movie review yet. And I think I want to review other people's YouTube videos and other people's YouTube channels at times because I watch so many different channels and my subscriptions like kind of are all over the place. Different subject topics, different personalities, things like that. So I kind of want to get that out there. But thank y'all for tuning in to this review of American Horror Story episode 3. And we will get another episode this Wednesday for people that have cable and Thursday for people who don't and have to watch it on Hulu. So I will see y'all. Hopefully, I can have my American Horror Story episode 4 video up on Friday. I said hopefully because this is going to be the first week of school of the kids going back in person after being out of school for like a year and a half. So I just need to see how this week goes. But this video will not this video, but the next video will definitely be up here by Sunday. But I'm not trying to, wait that long, but I'm still trying to kind of overestimate. So if I can get it done Thursday, then it'll kind of look like I'm on schedule. But that's neither here nor there. Thank y'all for watching. Have a good night and come back and join me again for another review on Kyria Reviews.